We've all seen players who glide past defenders with ease. Their unpredictable movements seem to freeze defenders and create scoring opportunities. My name is David Farouk, and I'm a PhD researcher studying movement and perception in sport. In this video, I'm going to tell you how you can get better at one of the most important parts of sport, 1vs1s. The most common way that people try to get better at 1vs1s is by practicing a specific movement or skill, such as a step over or a shoulder fake. In other words, we tend to focus on our own actions. The issue with this is that 1vs1s have two people in them. The outcome of the 1vs1 depends on the relationship between the players. Let's make this simple. If you have a skill that takes you to the right, it's only going to work if the defender goes to the left. We call this context dependence because the outcome is determined by the context, or the position of the other player in this situation. So becoming really fluid and tricky involves more than just practicing certain movements or fakes and hoping they line up with the defender in the right way. In fact, I'm not going to say much here about deception at all. We're going to replace deception with another key principle that I'm going to call edging. The best way to gain an advantage in 1vs1s is by staying close to a special kind of edge or boundary. So what are these boundaries? What are they edges of? Why is it so important to stay close to them? Let me illustrate with an example. We're going to take a 1vs1 where the attacker starts in this corner and has to cross this line. The defender starts in this corner. We're also going to introduce the concept of affordances. Simply, affordances are possibilities for action given the capabilities of a specific performer. So in this example, the starting positions create an affordance for the attacker. Can you spot it? The attacker will make a break for the top right corner of the area, and the defender will have to move laterally to try to cut off that path. And this brings us to the second principle. Affordances create affordances. We could say opportunities create opportunities if you prefer. As the attacker and defender become drawn into the 1v1, the affordance to cut back also appears. The edge in this case is the trajectory and momentum that will keep both of these options open. So edging is about hovering over multiple options or affordances. The longer you can stay on this tightrope, the higher the chances are that your opponent will commit, and you can choose the now obvious option. Beating defenders has more to do with reading the situation than selling a specific fake and hoping the defender buys it. In a real game situation, these affordances or opportunities are much more varied. For example, it might be that the opportunity to pass or shoot creates a secondary affordance to cut back. But the key principle in all these cases is that you need to ride the edges of these different possibilities so you can choose based on context or what the other person does, instead of just guessing and hoping that you get lucky. Ultimately, you get better at 1v1s by becoming more fluid or flexible, and being able to make more fine-grained adjustments based on your opponent's movements. This is why training without a defender has limited transfer to game situations. It's the position and movement of both players that create these edges. I'll leave you with one important sign that you're on the right path. If you're in a 1v1 in a game and you begin to do one thing, and you feel yourself quickly and spontaneously switch to another option, that's a good sign that you're finding the edges. If you want to learn more about the beautiful game, be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this.